Hi, everybody. Good morning. It is Wednesday, March 25th. I've been getting some emails from you all, certain things not working and questions. So obviously, y'all, you've got more time to get this done. So take the time, be precise with what you're doing, and really don't stress about it. So one of the things that I would like to make sure that you get done, most people, you've got an outline. A lot of you gave that to me before we left. And on that outline, I wanted you to put the website, the web address of your source. A lot of you didn't do that. So I assume you've got that somewhere, because next step, if you have not gone into writing your paper yet, or maybe you've gone into writing your paper yet, but you don't have your citations. Today, I want to talk about your citations. So what you want is an actual EasyBib correct citation done correctly in your paper. So I am going to do my best to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's start with, believe it or not, and I've got a link to this. Okay, so let's look on our Moodle page. If you go to English 2, and you go to, no, it's not course documents, I'm sorry. Course documents is where we've got some things about Macbeth. We don't want that. What you want is your Macbeth lessons. So click on Macbeth lessons, and you are going to see right here for Monday. All right, so I'm talking about the lesson for Monday. So rewrite our argumentative response. Well, if we click on that, you are going to get to this, and you should, without having to sign in, it might ask you to sign in, but you can just bypass that. You should see the actual lesson that we would have had for school. So let me show you. I'm not going to worry about all of that stuff and go full screen. We're just going to see what you see. Okay, so we are talking about how you are going to draft your argumentative response, giving us background. Remember, I told you this is not a report on your person just saying what their life was like. This isn't like a report. So you're actually going to make a claim. Nixon's downfall was a result of his lying because he had excessive pride. This is like Macbeth because Macbeth also lied to his people and had excessive pride. You could also, if you're talking about Nixon, you could talk about how he took shortcuts and Macbeth took shortcuts. Follow standard formatting when citing sources. That's what I want now. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, in your actual paper, this is what your source, your citation is going to look like. So that's the in-text citations. A lot of y'all are still having a little bit confusion over what in-text citations are. Let me go back into what's the point of in-text citations. When you put a direct quote and then you don't say where you got it, your reader is confused. They want to know the ethos of it, right? They want to know, well, who said this? Why are you quoting this person? Who are you quoting? So we as your reader want to know, where did you get this information? That's really, really important. It's even more important if you paraphrased your source and did not put quotes around it. Because if you paraphrase your source and don't put quotes around it, and you don't have a parenthetical inline citation, then you are plagiarizing. Because in essence, what that tells your reader is this line that doesn't have quotes around it and does not have a citation is no different than the line that comes before it that was from your own thinking and your own writing. So basically, you're putting off other people's ideas, turning them into your own words, putting them into your paper. That is plagiarism. Think about it. You're stealing somebody else's thought. Was it your own thought? Could you have come up with it on your own? No. So this is a research paper. We want you to do research. It's good to quote other people, so don't feel like you have to paraphrase and make it look like it was your own idea. I want to see the evidence of your research. Okay. We are doing this because whether you ever turn it in for a grade or not, and by the way, as I've told you, we don't know what's happening with grades for fourth quarter at this point. As soon as I know, I will let you know. If we do come back to school, which as of now, we're coming back after spring break, but that could change. So some of you might be thinking, I don't think we're going to go back to school, so I don't have to do any of this. None of this is going to get graded. And that's where what I call your intrinsic motivation comes up. And I can see the intrinsic motivation of the people who have been emailing me. Good for you. You care about your education. And this research paper, this is something to take the time and spend your effort on, because you're going to have to do it junior year. And I want to make sure it's easier for you junior year, because at least you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do a citation. I know how to do, I'm not going to get caught for plagiarism because this link taught me how to do it. So I'm still here for you. I am still your teacher, whether we come back to school or not. So if it's 4 of you that I'm talking to right now, I am your teacher. Send me what you've got. Send me your questions. I'm checking my school email multiple times every day, and I will work directly with you. Okay. Okay. So now let's look at this. This example, why do we have the title in quotation marks, and here we don't have quotation marks? So look at it. It's told you right here. Take a picture of this screen if you need to. If it's the article title, you put it in quotation marks. If it's the author, you don't. Now, you always want the last name of the author if it's available. That's your first thing that you want to put into your citations. You only use the article title or the first 3 words of the citation, which are going to be the same, if there is no author. And sometimes your EasyBib is not necessarily going to give you who the author is. You might have to manually go to that site and scroll down to the bottom and see if you can tell who the author is. So look at this here. Right here where it says Baker, all we see in your paper when we're reading it is Baker. That's because you don't want to interrupt your paper with all of this stuff. That goes on your works cited. So think of Baker as like a footnote, right? So that tells your reader, if they want to know where the source came from, they can go to your works cited and they'll see Baker, Peter, newly released tapes show, blah, blah, blah. It's all, notice there is like the colon, the period, the what's italics, all of that is done for you in EasyBib, which is amazing because when I was in high school, I had this MLA book and I had to read, if it's a book, do this. And it took me, half an hour to do one citation. So you all have definitely a benefit there. So we're going to go look at EasyBib in a minute. So once you have your citations done on your outline, then you're going to write a draft. You're going to look at, if you have all your books from your guidebooks handout, all your papers, that's going to help. Be sure to use parallel structure. As we talked about, that was like, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, the we can, that's parallel structure. Robust word choices, go back through once you've written your rough draft and see, especially in verbs, do you have like said, did, could you make them stronger? Descriptive phrases, varied sentence structures, and that's for your style. I will add one of the things I told you all, I think on the last day that I saw you, was if you're having trouble making your paper at least 3 pages, because this is not a 5-paragraph essay, but you can start it in the format of a 5-paragraph essay and then bump it up. If you are having trouble, remember to answer this question for every claim you make. For example, so say something and then Richard Nixon got in trouble because he took shortcuts. That's great. And then maybe you've got a quote that shows that he did that. Then you could say, for example, and explain more about it. And the second thing is this means. So bump up your paragraphs by making sure you give an example for every claim you make, and possibly more than one example. And this means. Y'all heard me, I told y'all, I love it when people don't just stop at stating a fact, but then you interpret it and analyze it by telling your reader what it means and tying it back to Macbeth or tying it back to the theme or your own topic sentence. That is a beautiful thing. Okay, so let's see. So that we're done with this, I want to go on to EasyBib so you can see exactly how that works. EasyBib, that's all you got to put. And actually, we want MLA 8, and that's the free one that shows up. So EasyBib MLA 8, and I'm going to click on that. And I think everybody's done EasyBib, but I want to show it to you. Okay, so this is the whole guidebook. That is actually what we want is always the orange button. Remember, you always want the orange button. So we want our MLA 8 citation generator. And let me find an article that we're going to use. How about Macbeth? Prideful. Let's see what happens there. Okay. Cliff's Notes. We are obviously not going to quote Cliff's Notes. E-notes. And that's another thing. Look, essay examples. You don't even want to look at any of those things. Essay, that's plagiarism. You don't even want to go there. Prezzies, that's something a student wrote. Look at all of that. The whole first page is, why don't we just go to themes in Macbeth? Because all of those were bad cites. Let's see. So we need to, literary devices, that might be something. Okay. So theme is an overarching Macbeth theme. So let's say you're quoting this line, right? Something like that. So let's say you're quoting this line, and so you need your citation. So you go up to whatever website and you copy and paste web address into your citation generator. See website. All right, I'm waiting. EasyBib's a little glitchy. And right now what's happened is it's sort of glitched out. Here we go. Let's do this again. Search. It's always the orange button. Okay, so y'all just ignore this. I don't know how to make that go away. Okay, so here's what you're going to see. Notice that's just the web address. Now, we put it in, but we're not done. It says consider your source's credibility. Take some time to read this. This is really helpful. Bias, is it biased? So then we hit that orange button again. And it's going to say, here's what I need your help with, publisher sponsor. You don't need to go back and add that in. We're good. Okay, so now it tells you all of this, and we hit continue again. You hit that orange button, I think, about 3 or 4 times. And just ignore all the ads on this. It is free, so. And then they're trying to educate you. Okay, so this did not have an author, right? So when it tells you something like this and it asks you to say who the author is, go back and check it for yourself. So I'm going to scroll. There was no author. See how there was no author here? And I'm going to scroll all the way down. That's usually, a lot of times there's ads there, but down to the end of the article. Sorry, y'all. Okay. And at the end, See all of this stuff? If you see this to help you understand, quote it. Don't steal any of that. Look, there is no author. So we're going to confidently now go back, and there was no author for this. So this is going to be an example where you're going to put it in your in-text citation as a article name. So now you hit that orange button again, complete citation. Our citation is being created. Okay, so they still want us to review it because they're not happy because we don't have a title. There you go. This is what it looks like. Now, notice they show you exactly how your works cited would look. And you can't copy the in-text citation because that you have to pay for. But this you can copy. So you can either click this and then we go, paste your paper here. We're going to ignore all that for now. Then create a Google Doc, I recommend. If I click on Google Docs, I think you're going to see a whole list of all my Google Docs, so I'm going to use my Microsoft Word. I kind of feel like I'm in class, y'all. I'm imagining y'all are all here with me and everybody doing well. Okay, so paste that. Notice how it pasted. So for mine, it did right. It's got that backwards indentation. That is correct. So you want that. You want to type, let's see. No, we don't want to do text only. We want to just paste it as it is. Oh, set default paste. This one just keeps it how it is. Okay, so now enter. We want to make our header. It literally is going to say works cited, and then you want to center that. And then your sources are going to be like this, and you're going to manually, you're going to put them alphabetical. So in your paper, this is what you would type in your paper for this one. You would put parentheses, open quote, themes in Macbeth, close quote, close parentheses. That is what the in-text citation would be for this full citation. And then this would go into, you'd copy that and you would put that into your paper. So there we go with in-text citations. Okay, that is probably quite a lot for you for today. And in fact, I have lost my faith in all of this. I hope I'm still here.